These episodes are brought to you by a massive fire-breathing dragon. Episode 16, Arnold Flass. So Arnold Flass has a hobby, a pretty simple hobby to be honest. It's essentially just ruining people's day. He likes to do this a lot. As a kid, he undoubtedly picked his nose and then wiped the bogies on the other students. I know, that's the kind of guy we're dealing with in this episode. As he gets older, he starts to beat up random young men in the street for fun, because I think that's just how bogey wipers advance. However, things started to change when Jim Gordon rolled into town.
You don't deserve the badge. You believe this crap? How long you been here? A few months? Why don't you come preach to me in 5 years?
Jim didn't like his wicked ways, obviously, to the point he would beat up Arnold Flass and help get him removed from the police force. Clearly, Jim Gordon does not have time for bogey wipers. Beating up Flass and ensuring he didn't have a job didn't do much for their friendship, to be frank. While Arnold Flass never liked Jim Gordon, he certainly liked him less after that. Which brings me nicely onto Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, where the boys picked up their feud from where they left off.
Thinking maybe someday you'll get wise.
There's nothing wise in what you do, Flass.
Well, Jimbo, you don't take the taste. Makes us guys nervous.
I'm no rat.
So that's from when they were somewhat civil. Now, what Arnold Flass wants to do is cripple Jim and his soon-to-be wife Sarah, as well as probably killing his son, who he has kidnapped. And you know how I said this guy is the type of person to take pleasure in wiping his bogies on people? His interaction with young child James Gordon Jr. is the finest indicator of that. So the plan is to dangle the boy over a bridge in a bag filled with stones. The bag is attached to a rope which has a microwave motion detector on it. This simply means if somebody gets too close, the rope snaps and the kid potentially drowns. Anyway, before putting the boy in the bag, he tells James Gordon Jr. every detail with a massive grin on his face. By my own admission, I'm not very good at guessing people's age, but James Gordon Jr. must be somewhere between 3 and 19 years old. He doesn't need to be hearing that. There's no benefit either. It's not like Jim or Batman can hear him. Quite simply, he's just a nasty man. Naturally, Batman does save the boy in the end, because, you know, it's Arnold Flass. Obviously, people like Bane and the Joker, they can win from time to time, but not Arnold Flass. Come on. Bogey wipers don't get to win. So the reason he is going after Jim is because he's now working for some corrupt bad guys? Well, of course he is. Classic Arnold. And Jim has information that could damage their man's chance of winning the election and becoming the mayor. But good old Jim is not willing to compromise with the bad guys, and basically says,
You can go to hell.
The bad guys, however, go on to turn on Arnold Flass, labeling him a liability, because they believe things with Jim Gordon have gotten too personal. And which hero does he need to depend on to save his life at the end? That bloody legend known as Jim Gordon, of course. Arnold Flass has gotten himself into a bit of a predicament where he is drowning. I assume he got banned from swimming classes as a kid for holding people's heads under the water. Anyway, he can't swim and Jim can, and Jim saves his life before pretty much telling him, You kidnapped my child. You are going to prison, mate. To conclude, Jim Gordon is better than Arnold Flass. TD.